With that down, let's move on to this, shall we? You know, it's always been important to have good trailers for your movies, but I feel like in the era of when there's more and more movies out there and more alternative entertainment avenues for people, the importance of trailers has become paramount. Like in a world where people say, don't listen to critics, judge for yourself. It's like, so you're saying judge it based on a piece of corporately produced propaganda designed exclusively to manipulate you into buying tickets? That's what you should listen to, but it's true. Trailers are so important. A lot of us, many people, make the decision about whether or not they're going to go see a movie based on a trailer that they saw. And so that's why it's actually kind of a big deal that we have the Golden Trailer Awards, Rob. And the newest round of the Golden Trailer Awards have just announced all their nominees. And by the way, there's about 5,000 different categories. But according to them, leading the way this year are Deadpool and Wolverine and Wicked. Deadline writes the following. Box office juggernaut Wicked and Deadpool and Wolverine lead the nominees for the 25th Golden Trailer Awards, which were revealed today. The Warner Brothers musical scored 15 nominations, and the Disney Marvel sequels 13 nominations. Warner Brothers' Sinners snagged 9 noms and one more than Neon's The Monkey. To which you might want to ask, 15 nominations, why is there more than one category? Best Trailer. Oh, but there are a lot. Let's just take a look at some of the nominations. Best Action Trailer. Back in Action from Netflix. Ballerina, Canary Black, Formula One, and The Accountant 2. Now remember, we're not talking about best movies. They're talking about best trailers, and all those were fantastic trailers. They coupled up Best Animation and Family to Minecraft movie, Elio, How to Train Your Dragon, Piece by Piece, and Snow White. Best Comedy Trailers, Brothers, Friendship, Saturday Night, Wolves, that's the George Clooney, Brad Pitt film, and You're Cordially Invited, that's the Reese Witherspoon, Will Ferrell comedy, that's on Amazon. Then they got the Best Documentaries, Best Drama. The Best Drama trailers nominees went to A Complete Unknown, Gladiator 2, The Alto Knights, which I thought was a terrible trailer. Anyway, The Brutalist, and The Luckiest Man in America with Paul Hauser. Best Fantasy Adventure trailer, Deadpool and Wolverine, Megapolis, Mickey 17, Thunderbolts, and Wicked. Best Horror trailer, 28 Years Later, Heretic, 28 Years Later, such a good trailer. Heretic, Sinners, The Monkey, and The Rule of Jen Penn. Then they go on. Then they have Best Thriller. They also included Best Video Game trailers. Call of Duty. Helldivers 2. Multiverse official launch. I don't know what that is. And Nobody Wants to Die. Now, then later on, I'm going to rush down because they've also started including in their nominations not only trailers, but they have a category for trashiest trailer. I don't even know what that really means, but trashiest trailer. Okay. Then they got international. I mean, look at all these categories. I'm scrolling through. But then the best spots for TV. Now, the one I'm trying to find that I'm interested, then they got best sound mixing in a trailer. Look at all these. There's got to be like 50 plus categories. What I'm trying to find is that they also have a category for posters. And I'm trying to get down to it, but it's so far down. Give me a moment because I want to read off the posters. I should have had this lined up. Then Best Innovative for Feature Film. Best Anime. I don't know what they're doing here. Okay. You know what? I don't even think I'm going to be able to find it. It's too far down. I wanted to read the nominees, though. Hold a second. Let me just do a quick search for it here. There we go. Posters. Okay. Best Action Poster. Mickey 17. The Crow. Again, remember, this is not about best movies. It's just about the poster. The Crow, Thunderbolts, and Tornado. Best Animation Poster. They've got Haikyuu, Moana 2, Piece by Piece, and The Wild Robot. Then they got even things like Best Billboard, which, Rob, you sent me a billboard. You texted me a billboard poster today which actually should probably, that should win. Best comedy poster, A Real Pain, Death of a Unicorn. That is a great poster. Mickey 17, Successor. Anyway, onward and upward and all that kind of stuff. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Stitch Fix. Guys, you know I love movies, but you also know I have absolutely no fashion sense, and I absolutely hate shopping for my clothes. But thankfully, I have found a better way. Stitch Fix online personal styling makes it easy. With Stitch Fix, I get a stylist who understands my style, size, and budget, and they do all the shopping for me. Because look, shopping and figuring out style can be overwhelming, especially for somebody like me. When it comes to getting dressed, I don't even know where to start, to be honest. That's why I love having a Stitch Fix stylist. They really know what works for me. I get pieces that make me look great, and it's a real confidence boost. You just give your stylist your size, style, and budget preferences. You get to order boxes when you want and how you want, no subscription required. They send you personalized pieces, and the fit is always on point. No stores, no crowds, no stress. Just personalized looks that you will love. So guys, make style easy. Get started today at stitchfix.com/Campea. That's stitchfix.com/Campea. You know what's funny though, Rob, is when I'm looking at it, they have all these categories. I really thought they would and should have a best overall as well. Like if you look at the world of bodybuilding, they'll have like best 150 pound, best 175 pound. But then once they get all those winners, they bring all the winners back on stage for a final pose down. They give a best overall. It doesn't look like they actually have like a best overall trailer for that. But again, listen, the Wicked marketing campaign, it was a fantastic campaign.
Yeah, it really was.
Obviously, Deadpool and Wolverine was a magnificent marketing campaign. Like in the midst of Marvel kind of struggling, that movie came out and became the highest grossing R-rated film of all time. That says a lot about the marketing. Anyway, Rob, it looks like there's 375 categories in this. I couldn't even scroll through them all. But what does this say to you about like the importance of trailers to I mean, I did a documentary that you appear in simply on trailers. And what do you think about the nominees, about Wicked and Deadpool leading the way? And what was maybe one of your favorite trailers this year?
Well, I'm surprised. I mean, maybe it went last year, but the neon stuff, the neon trailer for why am I trying to blank on the name? Longlegs. You know, that Longlegs.
Oh, that was a good trailer.
In incredibly innovative campaign. I've always loved, like they called the Key Art Awards, which is all the movie advertising awards, and I've always been a fan of that because look, we talk about marketing, and when people are talking about marketing, they're talking about key art, which appears on posters, which aren't nearly as important anymore. But when you see marketing for a film, you know, we're always talking about it should be innovative, it should be interesting. The thing is, people love trailers. I mean, if you think about it, like you always said, it's a commercial, and yet we're salivating over trailers. Like we're desperately waiting to see the new Superman trailer, and so movie trailers have become, you know, 2-minute entertainments unto themselves that are promoted by the studios as almost their own thing. They just happen to be free. And I think that key art, poster art, logo design, all of those things are incredibly important to the movie industry as a whole and individual films, obviously, because that's what entices people to get in there. And so the more innovation that we can celebrate, I'm all for it. And there's all different kinds. I mean, you really, you know, the best TV spot, the best 10-second internet trailer, whatever it is. I mean, I think that all of those are legitimate forms of marketing. And I love the fact that they get recognized because they are very creative endeavors. And there's a lot of clever marketing going on. Already we've seen some really clever marketing for weapons. And they've already started a viral marketing.
The campaign for that looks so good
because, you know, they know what they have. And I think that what's great about weapons is you don't want to give the movie away. And I think they did the same thing with Neon when they were doing Longlegs. The marketing for that was maybe not necessarily viral, but it was so counter to what we were used to. And even movies like The Monkey had really great trailers that made you go, I got to go see that. And then, of course, using that old recording from like the teens for the 28 years later, that kind of innovative thoughtfulness. I don't know whoever came up with that idea, but What a great idea. That should be celebrated. And indeed, they are celebrating it. And then the Wicked trailers as well. You know, again, you see a marketing campaign like this, and you can only marvel at how well they did. So, I mean, it gives people that don't necessarily get much recognition, you know, the unsung players behind the scenes, it gives them a chance to be honored. I think it's cool. I love it.
Yeah, especially since a great trailer can deliver a decent opening weekend box office to a terrible film. And a terrible trailer can sink a potentially really good film all at the same time. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about that? Leading the way at the Golden Trailer Awards are Wicked and Deadpool. There's like 75 categories, almost without exaggeration. What do you think should win? What trailers this past year stood out to you the most? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.